Resident Evil Revelations, back in 2012, was released the same year as RE6 and first came out for the Nintendo 3DS. As Resident Evil 6 moved into a more fast-paced action shooter, Revelations mainly focused on the survival horror aspects, and eventually went on to get a sequel. In this video, I managed to put together as many Easter eggs, references, and any other points of interest that I could find. And if you do enjoy what you see, then subscribe to the channel so that you can stay up to date on future content like this. Now it's time to board the Queen Zenobia ship. In the dining room area of the crew quarters, there's a drinks machine showing a brand name called Trish. This is named after the character from the Capcom game series Devil May Cry. When Jill and Parker search beneath a grate in the kitchen, she pulls out a gun with a severed hand still attached to the handle, just before they're attacked. It's a callback to RE1, where STARS member Joseph Frost finds a gun with a dismembered hand before he's killed. During the flashback on the beach, you can mess around to incite a reaction from Jill's colleagues, either by using the Genesis scanner on the men or leaving O'Brien to explore the area.
Trying to get to know the real me?
What's the reading say? That I'm one sexy mofo, right? What the hell are you doing?
Back in the kitchen, you can see on some of the boxes underneath the counter the developer name Capcom. The bathtub next to the bedroom Jill awakens in has water that you have to drain away to find a game progression item. This homages the first game, where at some points in the mansion and the guardhouse, you had to do the same thing. There are plenty of reused assets from the previous games that can be seen from RE5 and Lost in Nightmares that were placed in RE6 and Revelations. In the captain's office, just below the bridge deck, is a file you can read. It explains how the Zenobia and the other ships became redundant due to the popularity of air travel and were bought by a group called Paraguas, which is Spanish for umbrella, who were the original antagonists of the series. As a side note, the file also mentions the ship's designs were from the blueprints of George Trevor, the architect of the Spencer Mansion in the first game. In one of the guest cabins, there is a mounted shotgun on the wall that you can use. This is yet another reference to the first game, where a shotgun can be found in a similar way. The names of the three ships are based on queens of ancient times. The main ship that the game mostly takes place on is named after Queen Septimia Zenobia of the Palmyrene Empire. The second ship, Semiramis, is named for the Queen Regent of the Assyrian Empire, and the third was named after Queen Dido, who supposedly founded the ancient city-state of Carthage. The mug that Quint drinks out of throughout the game has a picture on the side of it showing a girl who may be the character Jessica, the woman he's infatuated with. Though the hair colour is different on the mug, it may have been an earlier Capcom design of her that was scrapped, but only a few years later it seems Capcom may have reused the design on a character in Street Fighter V called Colin, whose appearance does resemble the girl on the mug. Revelations has many references to the Divine Comedy, which is an epic poem written by Dante Alighieri that the terrorist leader takes inspiration from. The book tells the story about Dante's descent and exploration of the 9 levels of hell, and this Veltro flag seen here even has an excerpt from Canto 1 of Inferno, which translates to in English, "Until the greyhound comes, who shall make her perish in her pain." On the promenade deck, there's a cafe sign that's a bit blurry to see, but the sign shows Colombian Roadmasters, which is a reference to Dead Rising, another zombie series by Capcom that the cafe chain is seen in. On the snowy mountain path level, you'll encounter these dog-like BOWs called Fenrir. This codename is taken from the wolf of Norse mythology, similar to another Resident Evil BOW from the first game that was given a codename from another mythological creature called Cerberus. Using the Genesis scanner throughout the game helps locate extra ammunition, as well as hidden handprints for secret rewards. But someone in Capcom had a sense of humour when they decided to hide ammunition in this particular area of the female model. I suppose a hidden handprint would have taken the joke a little too far. The name of this BOW boss that Chris and Jessica take on is called Malacoda, and is named after one of the demons or Mala branches in the Divine Comedy that reside in the 8th level of Hell. Speaking of Dante's book, several of the characters seem to own a copy. As seen here on O'Brien's desk, the Veltro leader's copy can be read as one of the files in the game, and in the post-credit cutscene, we see Jessica reading her copy in a cafe. The pilot, Kirk, that comes to Chris and Jill's rescue later in the game is the same pilot who will later help Chris and Sheva against the Maginis before he's eventually killed in RE5. This is a bit of a difficult one to see, but on a closer look of this BSAA badge, at the end of the game displays a quote that says, "Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer, the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles." This is taken from William Shakespeare's Hamlet. Interestingly, the lines "to be or not to be, that is the question," is the preceding lines that is seen on a t-shirt in RE6. Some of the special weapons in raid mode are named after myths, such as this shotgun called Hydra, named after the sea creature of Greek mythology, and the Pale Rider Magnum revolver is a biblical reference to one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, specifically the Harbinger of Death, though it may also be a reference to the 1985 Clint Eastwood western film Pale Rider. Hey, thanks for watching this video and I hope you enjoyed it. There'll be more Resident Evil videos to come this month, as well as Silent Hill 3, and if you haven't yet and you want to see more Easter eggs and references videos, you can subscribe to the channel, and then you can stay up to date on all future content. And as always, thanks to all of you who have subscribed and commented and generally helped to make this channel grow. So until the next video, bye everyone.